Good rising, good people, and welcome back to Coffee Talk with Karen B. It's a pleasure to be here on this fine Moonday morning with you all once again. Today is August 26th, and the moon is 48% waning. So there you go. It's good to be here. Let's see. Let me say hello to all you. Oh, you know what? I didn't start Rockfin yet. God dang it. Hi, Rockfin. I'm sorry. You're here now. All I did was say the moon was waning 48%. I apologize. I wish Rockfin would just go live automatically like everything else. Sometimes it sucks when you forget. So, good to see you all here. Boston Ray Mudflood, Valley Parks, Effie Nation, Zulu 1, Aisling 717, E1, I can't say your name, but welcome. Dr. E. Vales, Tony Coriolis, Spicy Sarah, hi Spicy Sarah, Jana, Lou, good day from down under. Good day, Australia. Effie Nation. Good to see you guys. Captain Caveman. Richard B. Hi, Richard B. Scrotal Xerox. Alex Javier. Save any animals from the jaws of death this morning. Ha ha ha. No, but yesterday I did save a lizard from being eaten by my cat. I saw my cat with a lizard in her mouth, and then I went and I grabbed her, and the lizard ran off, and I took her to the garage and I gave her some salmon treats, and then she laid on the car and took a nap. So I'm pretty sure that lizard got away and lived, but I did save that from the jaws of death, literally yesterday. And also a couple of spiders. Because Ted and I were out in the woods yesterday using chainsaws and doing, yard work, getting farm fit. And so that was fun. No art study yesterday. No, because Jack said that he was, I don't know what he said, but no, he's the one who called off the anti-religious scripture stream Saturday. I'm not sure why. I think he said he was traveling. He's doing something, but he couldn't do it. And then the B stream's not really a new show. I used to do B streams a long time ago. It's what I call it whenever I just have someone on my channel. Like Mario. Just to have a talk, I call it a B stream, but I hardly ever do them anymore. I mean, look at how many views that stream got, like not even 500. I don't know why, but whenever I do those type of streams on my channel, they get no views. They get no views. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't promote bullshit. I really, I hate to say it, but people are fascinated by bullshit these days. They want to talk about and argue about ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous things. It's like it's like the YouTube chat is bound and determined to drag every YouTube live stream down to the lowest common denominator of idiocy. And it's really annoying. It's why I don't want to do it so much anymore. It's why I'd rather focus on produced content that is edited, that is not influenced by, people who think the earth is rising up, or people who think we live inside the ball instead of outside of the ball, or whatever nonsense people want to push and get into these days. Shame, because it was so good. That's what I'm saying. Mario, I would like to actually talk to Mario a lot more because he's interesting, and he's talking about stuff that I find interesting. And also it's cool because even just in that little short talk that we had Saturday, it's interesting to see the overlaps of like information, how the symbolism sort of can line up to real life and how things really work in this realm and the true physics of this realm. You know, that all comes from something, somewhere. Everything that we ever got is from this realm, right? We don't know any other place. Everything is from here. So I really find that interesting. Thanks, Valley Parks, for watching the bee stream. I appreciate that. Just checking my sound. Anyway, yeah. You know, it's like you can't even have a normal conversation anymore. You can invite him. I'm always down to talk with. I like Mario. Yeah, BS is viral like Viper Bite, mate. Buy yourself a couple bio seeds for your garden, but watch out for those slippery, sneaky snakes. How do I call you from Australia? I guess I could set up a Zoom call and you could call me through Zoom. Because I know people out of country and out of the United States can't call the phone lines very easily. I could do a Zoom call. Because Zoom, you can use the phone. Slippery, sneaky snakes. It's funny. I like snakes. There's a lot of snakes at my house. Got a lot of black racer snakes and king snakes. I mean, I live in the woods, man. There's critters all over. So, no BS talk, though. You know, Zulu One and No Despair Bear have a show called BS Talk. It's BST. It's called Bullshit Talk. But even their bullshit talk is not as bullshitty as some of the talks that other people try to make you do. Snake talk. You guys are funny. Hold on. Something in my eyeball. All right. I had an eyelash poking me in the eyeball. You ever have that where the eyelash turns it, like inverts itself and it's like still attached, but it's like trapped under your eyelid, so it's poking you in the eyeball? Yeah, mine was just doing that. Oh, that sucked. All right. Not as bullshitty. Yeah. I do have a call-in number if anybody wants to call. It is what's my number? 704-666-1776. Yes, I picked that number on purpose. Let me see here. No, I'm not using Skype. I hate Skype. Anyway, there's an event. There's a Flat Earth event coming up next month. Actually, in exactly 1 month from today, tomorrow. There is the last ever Flatoberfest 2024. It's been the biggest Flat Earth conference that's been held annually ever since 2020. We kept our events open and going through the coronavirus pandemic. We did not obey mandates. We had live events with hundreds of people that did not require social distancing, masks, or vaccinations. And it has been my pleasure to provide you all with these events over the years, but the time has come for me to stop, retire, and do something else. I get a lot of questions asking why. If you've been paying attention, boy, you know why. You know why. And I just don't want to get into that right now. I'm trying to maintain positivity. I really am trying. It is so hard. It is so incredibly hard. You guys have no idea. It's hard for me to even I'm not even gonna lie. It's hard for me to even get on here and do this stream every Monday still. It's incredibly hard because what's going to happen when I come on here? There's going to be some numpty in the chat who's going to be like, Karen, you just keep denying reality, man. The earth is moving up. Hey, Karen, why don't you watch another video about our melted reality, Karen, man? Hey, Karen, we couldn't have built all these buildings with our civilization. It's just impossible, man. We don't have that technology, man. It was built by the giants, man. Like, it's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard to keep it going when that is what you get inundated with every time you hit the go live button. What coffee beans are we enjoying this morning? Nothing special, just Costco coffee. Nothing special about my coffee. Yeah, Richard was the only Australian. It's a long haul for y'all, though I get it. It's a very long haul. I actually would be open to helping to organize events in other countries because I feel like the Americans are spoiled, rotten little stinky brats who they take it for granted now, you know, how hard it is to put these things together, the planning that goes into place, the money that it costs. Like, it costs a lot of fucking money to do large events, and they go, why is it so expensive? It should be free. I didn't make any money. I'm not getting rich doing these events. I wish, but I'm not. And not only am I not getting rich, I'm just getting hate from people that I'm supposed to be doing this for. Now I'm a gatekeeper and blah, blah, blah. And they just want to, give me crap all the time. So why should I keep doing it? I get Dunkin' at Costco. And then I feel like all the people in other countries don't get so many events. They just watch us doing it, and then you guys just all complain about it. And this old world garbage, I really just can't. I can't with that stuff. It's like everybody has, I don't understand why people are perpetuating that nonsense. I mean, denying the technology that we've had for the last 200 years that was the Industrial Revolution that has brought forth everything that you see before your eyes today. Like, they're just all saying it's fake and it didn't happen. and that it was already here. Like just creating deceptions where there are none, you know, just so they can be the ones telling the coolest, most outlandish, most jaw-dropping story and getting clicks and stuff. And that's what people are attracted to. And it's like nobody cares about truth anymore. And it's depressing. It's really depressing. Somebody cheer me up. Somebody make me feel like it's worth being here still. Yes, Old World Order is the biggest pile of shit movie ever created. I don't even know what to say anymore. Fuck. I might just end this stream right now. I don't know what to say. I really don't. How am I supposed to be on here and like be positive for everybody? How? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. Tony Coriolis.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, just wanted to say I did listen to that Mario Garza interview, and I do think he's probably going to give, not knocking anyone else, but I'm really looking forward to his speech. I think it's going to be great.
I agree. I wish I could find...
And he said... Yeah, he said one thing that I'm sad because, like, I told you how I lost the channel not too long ago. So even if I left a good comment, on the Mario Garza on weaving spiders, and I put a timestamp to where he said the same thing with you, that I guess like clockwise and counterclockwise. Counterclockwise goes more towards the center, and then clockwise goes more, not towards the center. I have a hard time really knowing what exactly that means, but I just know he definitely knows what he's talking about there, and I just want to, and you're going to have the opportunity to talk to him out in Flatoberfest. He's going to be around, so I figure I'll just kind of hit him with a couple of little questions on that. But yeah, I like seeing him around, and I would love to get, if someone could hidden camera him and Dennis talking, it'd probably be one hell of a conversation.
Oh, for sure. I think anybody could have a good conversation with him, I wish there were more people like that.
Totally. And he is doing a documentary thing with Dennis, right? That is who Dennis
he helped
was
Dennis
doing his video with?
Yeah, was helping Dennis put together his history of cosmology, I think is what he's calling it.
Yeah, that's cool.
For sure.
Not out yet, I don't think, but I've been hearing him say that. And and I wanted to touch a little bit on, do you know who your enemy is in the Chinese New Year off the top of your head?
I don't. I want to say rooster. Totally. I think you told me before.
No, it's the pig.
Oh, the pig.
Yeah, it's the pig. And I just wanted to say I heard a random factoid where right when I heard it, I was like, I think that's the enemy. Let me check it. And it is. Snake and enemy are pigs. They're 6 years away. I guess pigs can get bit by a snake and the venom just goes right into their fat. So pigs are like resistant to snakes. I don't know. Just found that interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah. And then, there was another thing I read in the Chinese New Year, but I read it a couple weeks ago, and as you said, if someone's been listening, they can understand why, you are simply, and it's a thing that is said in the Chinese New Year for snakes, like the snake shedding its skin and just becoming anew. It's not anything bad. Like, and I find it, like, I see in all the chats too, everyone's like, Karen, why'd you leave Strange? Like, who cares? Let Karen do whatever. I got no problems. You're just shedding your skin onto the next thing. And it's not anything bad, everyone. It's just what happens, It's the natural feature of a snake.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
I gotcha. Didn't really have much else. I called into a couple shows, this weekend. That Shane St. Pierre guy, he's a guy who's with Alan.
Yeah.
He was really good. I called into his show and was talking up Flatoberfest and stuff. So, we might see some other people out there. And either way, I'm hearing more people are going all the time. And I heard some big news. Two
Tony,
people who came last year are coming to this one.
Tony, I'm sorry. Yeah. Can you hold on one sec? I gotta get my dog.
No problem. All good.
I'm sorry.
Totally good.
Sorry,
totally
you guys.
Good.
My dog is old, and so if he's crying downstairs, I gotta go check on him. He's elderly now, so I gotta check on him.
No problem with me on that. Yeah, totally good. I was gonna say one last thing. How I heard, I'm hearing more people are coming to Flatoberfest, and come on, y'all, yeah, let's go party. But I heard 2 people from last year are coming. You want to guess at who the 2 people are? One's a snake, one's a rat.
2 people from last year. What do you mean? Like
2 people from out of country from last year.
Besides Richard B? Or
besides Richard B, yeah.
Stephanie and Sander?
Correctamundo.
Yeah.
They just confirmed it now this weekend, so.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
I'm beyond excited. So, yeah, I'm just looking forward to the event, and that was my last thing I had.
All right, thank you. Sorry I left you on hold there for a second.
Totally good, Karen. It's just when you said I may end the stream, I was like, oh, shit, I got to call now. I guess that's what it is. And I don't need to call in every time. It's just kind of fun, too. And, I love these streams. So,
well,
hope nothing changes, but, yeah, no problem.
I appreciate you, Tony.
I got you, Karen.
You're cool.
You are very high-ranking in my books, and that is not going to change. So, all right. Peace out, Karen B.
All right. Later, Tony. And thank you, James Ritchie, for the tip on Rockfin. I appreciate that, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm getting all... today. It's just hard, man. It's hard. It's very hard to, keep the momentum going, and people... When you're a content creator, it's like people lean on you a lot. They take, people take, and they don't really give. And it can be very draining, which is why sometimes we need to take breaks, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break. Maybe explore other options. What are you guys talking about? Haven't watched Strange World since Karen left. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk.
Hi, Karen. My name's Daniel. It's my first time watching your stream. I just thought I would call in. I just wanted to say quickly, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I really enjoy the cozy vibes here. I really enjoy what you're trying to do. And yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to say that. I understand that, like, it's very tough being in the position you're in.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling. It's long distance for you.
Yeah, 100% from Australia. Yeah, it's pretty late at night here. But I just wanted to ask as well, if you've got a second. So, like, how big is Flatoberfest? Like, I don't know a lot about it. Like, what, like, roughly, you know, how many people are there? You know, what's it like?
Well, usually there's around 400 people, typically. Some years a little bit more.
Oh, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really don't have anything like that in Australia, obviously. I'm sure you know, but...
Yeah, I think there was one thing in Australia a long time ago Mark Sargent went to, but as far as I know, there's not been anything regular over there.
Yeah, no, that's my understanding as well. But yeah, anyway, don't want to take up any more of your time, but 100% really enjoy the cozy vibes, the stream, and yeah, thanks for doing what you do. I'll let you go.
All right, well, thank you for calling. That was cool. I like to hear from you. I know, I'm sorry. I should, do you reckon that going to doing a Flatoberfest in Russia at some point perhaps might have more people working with you rather than against you? In Russia? I don't know. I don't even know any Russians. I don't even know any Russians. You know, there's a lot of flat earthers in, like, in Western Europe. You know, there's some in Spain and Portugal, Amsterdam, the Netherlands. You know, it seems to be where you know, more are, but I don't know. There's a lot in the UK. I honestly don't know any Russians, though. Well, I mean, there's some people that come in here with a Russian, like the guy with the Cyrillic text name that I can't pronounce, but is that person actually in Russia? Here, let me see. Thank you, Liz. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be a crybaby. I don't want to be a crybaby. I don't want to be a crybaby. But sometimes, man, it's like... it's just difficult. Here, let me set this up for you foreigners. That is a Zoom link. And I'm not putting you on screen because I don't want any porn bombers trying to ruin my show. But we'll see if you guys want to try to call in and you can't use the number. I'll leave it open. My dog is a crybaby for sure. I haven't watched A Strange World since Karen left. Just ain't with. Well, you know, it's not like I don't have, you know, and I still like Mark. Like there was no, you know, there's no bad reason. There's really nothing bad between me and Mark. You know, I just can't do that anymore. Hello, Richard.
There's no bad reason.
Richard, you got to mute your watch page if you want to talk. Give him a minute.
Karen.
Yes. Hi, Richard.
Hi. It should be.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't have international dialing, unfortunately.
Okay, well, yeah, the Zoom makes it easier.
It does. It's fantastic. Every time I hear Tony, I get jealous. I think, oh, I should call in too.
Well, now you are. So what's up? How are you doing?
Very well. Very well. I was happy to see that there's a couple of Aussies in the chat.
Yeah.
And the gentleman who rang in, you know, another Aussie. Did he say Daniel was his name? I don't know if he's in the chat.
Yeah. He said his name was Daniel. I thought I saw a Daniel in chat. I wonder how close you all are to each other.
Well, I just Loom M, or whatever his name is, Lou M, just said he's in Oakley, and that's only not even a 20-minute drive from me. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, we could get together at some stage.
Yeah.
I can tell him. Is it a him or a her? I don't even know. But
I don't know.
I could, I can certainly word them up on how good Flatoberfest is.
You don't know, what was that last thing you said about Flatoberfest?
I said I could word them up. I could tell them how good Flatoberfest is.
Oh, yeah. You know, we always have a great time at the events.
Oh, fantastic.
We really do. And it's always kind of hardest right before the event. That's kind of what I'm going through right now. I don't know why that is, but it's always like right before the event, everything just kind of goes sideways. But then the event happens and like everything's good again.
Look, it must be hard, I know. And you know, even though I'm a long way away, you know, you've got my support on anything you do.
I know you are the best, and you're very supportive, and it's really great. It's wonderful to have people like you around, because it helps offset all the negativity and the hate. You know,
it's unbelievable how much of that is going around. Not just with you, with Jaren and others, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it comes from a lot of ignorance, Karen.
Oh, I'm sure
it is. It's just all people are just ignorant, unfortunately, and they have no integrity. I mean, the only people in our community I only follow people with integrity, and that's definitely you and Jaren. So, yep, I'm glad that you stood up for him last week. That was great.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. You know, and I don't plan on leaving. Like, I'm not going to stop doing stuff. But I'm definitely going to stop doing the events, at least for a year. Flatoberfest is going away. And I really do want to focus on doing other types of content. I think it's necessary. There's definitely a need for it. Because I think everything has become so saturated with ridiculous stuff. Just ridiculousness.
I know. And I'd like... If I was so inclined, or if I knew how to, or if I was a bit more talented, I'd like to, maybe put together something on lying, on why people lie. or even how it all started, that people can actually deceive other people. If I knew, I don't know what angle to come from, but that's something that I've always thought would be quite interesting, because I can't stand lies, and some people just find it very easy to do.
Yeah. I know.
Including members of my family, I might add.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, thank you for putting this up. I thought I'd give you a quick bell and at least say hello for a change. But I'll see you next month anyway.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I am looking forward to seeing you all again. It's going to be great. We are going to have a good time. We always do.
Oh, we're gonna have a ball. I've just, I spoke to Stephanie and Sandra during the week as well, and yeah, they're definitely going to come.
Awesome.
And yep, so that'll be really good. And I'll shout out to Tony, because he's always got me in mind, which is very nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to meeting Liz and seeing Cammy and Zach again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ted, of course.
Yes, and Ted. Ted will be there.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll let you go and take some other calls.
All right. Thank you.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Richard.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
That was cool. Nice to hear from Richard. You're trying to tell me the earth is rising and everything comes up at me. This is what I'm saying. What is wrong with people? Seriously. I mean, you want to talk about, divide and conquer, causing division. And then they all think it's okay because they're like, oh, but the Flat Earth Society took it off their website years ago, so now we can use it. So that makes it okay? Like, get out of here. You guys are so bored. Get a hobby. Go outside. Exercise. Go for a hike. Plant a garden. I mean, seriously. Oh, I'm gonna throw this bottle off. Look at the bubble. The earth is rising. Like, dude, what about a crayon munchers? Lou M. You can use the Zoom link. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, this is Dennis. What's happening?
Hi, Dennis.
Hey, before my work heats up too much here at the Port of New Orleans, I thought I'd call in real quick. Thanks for to Tony Coriolis for the shout out. I just wanted to give a brief update. I'm intending to put my documentary in 5 segments, the history of cosmography. I'm intending to put it online prior to Flatoberfest. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be something else like Rumble, maybe a couple formats, but not one that has had problems with censorship like YouTube has had. So I'm just waiting on Mario to send me a thumb drive with the whole thing recorded, and I'm going to upload it, and I'll put that out as soon as that's done, and I'll have links with all 5 segments to all the books that I mentioned, online links, to make it helpful for anybody looking up what I talk about. And I plan to have that done, hopefully. I fully intend. I want to before Flatoberfest at any rate. And for the longer term, that'll be a rough version or like a dress rehearsal or a first draft. I'll do a more smoother version at some point, perhaps next year. I'll re-record it. But that's what the deal is with my documentary, History of Cosmography. So hopefully that, I don't see any reason why it won't, but should be out within the next month, that documentary. Oh, one other thing. I just wanted to share this because I'm a different subject. I'm finishing up this book. It's a military book, and it's by Andrei Martyanov. He's a Russian-American, resident in America now since the 90s, since around 95. But he's a veteran of the Soviet Navy, and he's written 4 books now on military affairs. And his latest book, he's got a YouTube channel also, Smoothie X12. But his latest book, America's Final War, and it's very informative, but he's highly critical. Well, America's military, he believes it's incompetent, and American society in general. Just my take on it, I think just listening to your broadcast, you're talking about all this saturation of stupidity and flat earthism, like the Earth is rising allegedly, or the moon map, and Tartaria, and endless number of stupidities. I don't think that's only flat earthism, although it is in flat earthism also, and it's horrible. There's a lot of decent people struggling against just a flood tide of just raw sewage and garbage. I was just reading in his book, 2 things. One on his book, and that just in context of that, in relation to that. I think it's in all other fields also. America's just full up to the brink and overflowing with just stupidity and the ignorance of people in general. Not only flat earthism, but I was about the new weapons that Russia's making in the past few years. His previous book, during the civil war in Syria, that the Syria won and America failed. Russia was having a revolution in military affairs. And Putin said that previously, like the weapons of mass destruction, America came up with that, and America was catching up. Or when Mach 1 airplanes, like Chuck Yeager in 1946, 47, the aviation, America was catching up with Russia was catching up with the Anglo-Saxon world who did it first. Now that's stopped. Russia's the one who's come up with hypersonic weapons, and the one I just found out yesterday in the later part of his book, I hadn't heard of it before. There's something called the Poseidon, that it's an unmanned submarine that's about 65 feet long and two yards wide, and it can have tactical warheads on it, but it's usually meant to have a warhead, weapon of mass destruction, and it travels. I've seen 2 speeds at it, but it has a range of 6,500 miles, and it's got a big old nuclear warhead on the tip of it, unmanned, and it can travel. It's nuclear propelled also. It doesn't have to surface, and it travels. I've seen the 2 speeds, about 55, 60 miles an hour, or another 104 miles an hour. I don't know which of those is its top speed. I think it's 100, but anyway, either way, Putin said its primary purpose is to obliterate carrier battle groups at sea and coastal installations of the Navy and shipbuilding installations. So possibility that the power of the United States may be, I know I'm like doom and gloom, but there's a possibility that its days are numbered. In my personal opinion, people may not agree with me, but I've always hated the United States deeply. There couldn't be a better solution to put an end to there's no more, as far as I know, a sure solution to put an end to all that stupidity from the leadership down than to obliterate it. And I don't think the Russians are out to obliterate the people, rather than the military things that are a threat. They're not a imperial country. And Putin just, I think 1 week ago, he put out that people who reject from all countries in the world who reject the moral degeneracy of the West are welcome to apply to Russia for citizenship without even needing to know the language. So anyway, I just think it couldn't be a starker difference to me as far as black and white and good and evil. America, I mean, there's good people for sure here and there, but the whole system is so evil and worthy of destruction. The U.S. system, I've never seen it starker, although it's been in place for a while. But anyway, that's all I got for today.
All right. Thanks, Dennis.
What?
All right. I got some people in my Zoom call. I saw you enter, Voy. I'll let you in when you get your stuff updated. So I'm going to admit Luke. Let's see how this goes. Hello.
G'day, Kazza. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is this am I the trifecta? Am I the third Aussie tonight? I think so.
Are you? I think you are.
Bloody ripper. The trifecta. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Look, I want to say thanks for your work. You know, it's a great service that you're doing. And I understand, man, like, I work in the community sector, and you know, like, you're an unsung hero, and there's a lot of pushback. I don't know, you know, that, I suppose. I also do a bit of work with the government, so there is a bit of that. But also, like, it's exhausting. I understand, like, you are in a spiritual war, and there's a lot of very unwell people, spiritually unwell, psychologically unwell. So, you know, navigating through that is quite difficult. And, you know, I'm fortunate for myself, like, I'm in recovery. And one of the things we do is, you know, ask, you know, our higher power to have those, you know, discomforts removed, and to remove our resentment and understand that other people, you know, they're just unwell. And it's hard. It's a lot of work to do. And, you know, so, yeah, it's, I don't know what you do to get through. But for me, it was drinking. But yeah, I have to hand everything over now to get by.
Yeah, well, I admit I do drink sometimes. That happens. It definitely happens. But you know, not it hasn't taken over my life or anything, but yeah, or what I've been doing this weekend too, like I just turned off the internet and I just went outside and I just started working in the yard and getting dirty, playing in the dirt and sweating. And that was actually really good for me. That made me feel better, because then, you know, things are getting done around my own home and I'm feeling accomplished, and there's no outside influence like trying to bring me down. I think that's probably my favorite go-to, just to go out into the woods and in the yard and just do stuff.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's very exciting, because it is unnatural, the setting that you're in right now, that we're in with these LED lights, and it's draining in itself. And then you've got, you know, like, it's hard, I suppose, not to get sucked in as well with the constant commentary, and people, you know, you feel like you're on repeat here with, like, these questions, or, you know, people throwing out statements of like, yeah, the earth is spinning 1,000 whatever miles per hour, you guys say. But yeah, it must be tiring. But do you ever just ignore it and just ask for that to be removed, that kind of resentment and discomfort you feel when you get those comments?
I try to ignore it. I don't know, maybe I should try. I'll try that. I do try to ignore it, but it's hard because there's like so many people, and they keep coming back to you with it. You know, it just keeps coming across my frame, down my feed, whatever, in my message box, in my live chat. It's difficult to ignore.
Yeah, it would be, especially like, because you've researched, you know, extensively on this subject. You've done your due intelligence. And unfortunately, people haven't. They've been a part of this. Like, it's exhausting to think about the brainwashing that I experienced as a child, you know. Like, Flash Gordon was my favorite movie, and I'd go and argue with my friends at school. They were all Star Wars buffs, you know. But it was, you know, I wanted to be like, you know, hanging out with Ming and, you know, wearing those cool outfits and jamming Queen songs. And that was for me, that and He-Man was my first, you know, real, you know, that the fantasy that is space and whatnot. So these people have been, you know, indoctrinated into that, as you know. So we've got to have patience and tolerance for them. And look, I'm not in your position. I get a lot of flack in my personal life, of course. I'm very vocal about, you know, where we live. I think, like, understanding there as a creator is really important, at the very least, because things aren't changing. People are so apathetic and, you know, they're totally removed from spirit, and that connection to, you know, a conscious contact with a higher power, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
yeah. So,
I agree,
you know,
but
like,
I see that a lot in flat Earth too. Like, even flat Earthers who do know that the Earth is flat, they're still separated. They're still looking for some, and that's like part of this whole, you know, old world order or whatever, you know, they're creating. It's like, you know, all of that stuff, you know, to me, it's them looking for another answer outside of themselves, and it's still sort of avoiding the whole point of this, is that this place was created by a creator and there's a higher purpose here, and it's not to go around, you know, saying that all mountains are melted brick buildings, and, you know, and to deny the accomplishments of humans over time just to push your fantasy story.
Yeah, I see that. Look, the dragon thing, they've been pushing that recently too, and it's like, man, that's next level, guys.
The what thing? The dragon thing?
Yeah. Like, I know Kenny Loggins, my lunch break, he's been, you know, bringing up the dragon stuff recently, and yeah, oh well, like it is getting more towards like this fantasy work, like literally like Lord of the Rings.
It is.
I'm saying a lot of that. Yeah, well.
And I don't want to go there. I don't want to jump from one fantasy to another. I don't care if your fantasy is on a flat earth. It's still fantasy.
Yeah, this is true. And, you know, Karen, like, you've got your strength, you offer what you offer. And it's a shame that people aren't objective and impartial. Like, that's the thing, like, as well as critical thinking. People aren't taught to be impartial and objective. You know, like, even in this flat earth community, I mean, like, that whole, the Jarens thing and Eddie and Leo and Z, like, you know, I'll message those guys, man. And I'll say, hey, why don't you guys just talk this out? You know, I mean, look, I don't put anything past, really, these days. It's a wild world, and especially when it comes to this topic, and it's getting more and more traction. But, you know, the fact that these grown men are acting like fucking children, like, you know, I work with children who are very unwell, like spiritually, psychologically, due to poverty here in Australia, and like also, you know, like what the Aboriginals have experienced here. I work closely, I always have, with Aboriginals, and, you know, you've got these people, and they handle like stuff that's going on within their community a million times better than what these like babies are doing. I can't believe it. I just cannot get over it. It's real division, and the fact that these grown men can't sit down and have a conversation and like be respectful to each other. It's like, it's really boring.
Yeah. No, they just rather make videos about each other and call each other shills.
It's really like it's like like, what's the wrestling I used to watch it when I was a kid? With like Junkyard Dog and Paul Hogan. I mean, like Hulk Hogan. It's sort of like that. These guys, like, I almost feel like they should be running into a ring or something and doing pole drivers.
Yeah, pretty much.
But look, thanks for your time and thanks for your service. And, you know, check out some resentment prayers. The Serenity prayer is a really good one. You know, like, asking for whatever you call your high power. Like, I know people that pray to Freddie Mercury. It doesn't matter. It's all source, right? Like, but look, I think like praying for that to be removed, asking how you can be useful, and often being useful to others that you resent or that give you the shit, is just like staying true to your path and keeping your side of the street clean. You know, clean house, trusting, you know, God, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice. I will try that. I will definitely try that. Instead of letting myself
Spiritual
just
gym,
get
I call it.
frustrated.
Well, you'll pull that amazing hair out, Karen. Like, you know, look at that hair. You don't want to rip that out.
Yeah.
Well, look, hooroo. Thanks for your service. You know, don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job, and really respect you. And I know that everyone in the chat does. And those other people, they're just very spiritually, psychologically unwell people that haven't been taught how to critically think. They aren't objective and impartial. And that's it, you know?
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Great call.
Thanks, mate. Hooroo. That's what we say here in Australia. Hooroo.
What is it? Hooroo or hoolaroo?
Yeah, who? Yeah, who, like H-O-O, and then roo, like kangaroo.
Ah.
Hooroo.
Hooroo. Okay, cool.
Yeah. See you, mate.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
I have another caller in here. Seth. Let's see if Seth can join and talk. And Voy, if you get your stuff going, I'll bring you on too. Hello, Seth. Are you here? You have to unmute yourself to speak, person. You're muted.
Okay, so yeah, it's a good thing I was muted because I still had the other page on to listen.
Oh.
But but the update worked all right. Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, this is Voy.
Yeah, of course it's Voy. Yeah.
Okay, because before when you joined it said Voy, and then I totally forgot that your real name was Seth.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
And then I heard you talking, and I was like, that sounds like Voy.
Oh, no. It's voice.
Yeah, good. I haven't talked to you for a while. How are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, it was such a financial thing. Since I called you last time, I think I called you for 5 or 10 minutes, and it cost me like $30 or $60. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a lot of money. So yeah, but that's not what I called you. Well, it's obviously cheaper now just to click the Zoom link, but
Yeah.
And thank you for opening that.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Yeah. And two, I don't know if you addressed this because I was updating the app in the meanwhile. But yeah, going to Russia as a way to flee wokeness. You know, since a couple of days, that's become a possibility now.
Really? Are you
Yeah.
considering it?
No, I've been considering this forever.
Really?
Yeah.
I do know that there's groups of Americans who've gone to Russia to start homesteading. Like they went there and they got land and they're homesteading in Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got they sort of, I think I'm in their vibe. Like, well, you know, I mean, where's there any morality left, any decency, any space, any roughness and toughness?
Yeah?
Well, that's in Russia, that's in Poland, and that's in Hungary. That's where it is. That's where it is. You can go to Hungary, you can go to Poland, and you can go to Russia. That's where those qualities are still a thing.
Yeah?
So that I think these people that you know of are, you know, they know that too. They know the same things that I know or, you know, have heard of. And besides that, you know, I've always been fascinated with the Cyrillic language, with the Slovian language. I do not master it in any way, but it still fascinates me.
Yeah.
and I also knew that this was going to happen. I told people around me, like, listen, guys, I'm sure that Russia's gonna open up the gates and gonna let down on their rules to have people immigrate, because before you would be able to even apply for Russian immigration, you should know Russian and you should know about Russian history, which is a very agreeable measure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they had that measure, but that's they understand what's happening, or it might as well be a trap, Karen, because I think it's a trap too. It might sound like an option, but then again, maybe it's just a trap. Maybe they just want to rally up all people with morality and just have them in one place. I don't know. I don't
know either. It's just sort of crazy the way things are playing out.
Yeah.
There's definitely a crazy shift going on right now. And I just want to address this person in chat really quick. JCam72 Miss Bigfoot calling out other people for wild theories. Listen, you shitbag. I do not go around to every other channel and go in their chat and go, why aren't you talking about Bigfoot? You should know that Bigfoot's real. Why aren't you talking about it? How come you don't believe Bigfoot? Let me send you 1 million videos to prove to you that Bigfoot's real. Like, I don't do any of that stuff. I talk about it here on my channel when it comes up, and I always say, you could believe it or not, I'm just talking about my experiences. And that's totally different than these other assholes who want to come and try to take over everybody else's chat, pushing their stupid ideas on everybody. Anyway.
I mean, Bigfoot actually left you some presents, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I know there's no proof. Like, I have no proof of any of that stuff. And, people can believe it or not. I don't care. See, that's the difference. I'm not pushing that on everybody. I'll talk about it, and a lot of people are interested in it. Man, I talked to Stefan from Deftones a couple weeks ago, and we talked about Bigfoot for like an hour.
Yeah.
Because he's interested in it. He brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, sometimes you wanna take a picture, but the thing is that you don't always wear your board computer or your phone with you. I mean, I don't ever wear my phone with me. I don't go around walking in the forest with my smartphone. I just don't do that. I go walking in the forest just to walk in the forest.
Yeah. But I've even been in the woods and I've had my phone on me. And like even not even for Bigfoot, but I try to pull it out and get the camera going to record something, and I'm not fast enough. Yeah. So it's like people are, why isn't there all this video? Well, sometimes it happens too fast. Right? You just can't do it.
I know, because once one night I was looking at the full moon, and there was like this stormy wind blowing. It was actually a clear night, but there was also a lot of clouds and a lot of wind. And I looked at the clouds, being lit by the moon, and one of these clouds looked like the head of a wolf, and it was wow, it's really the head of a wolf. And then I looked at the rest of the clouds that came behind it, like, wow, it's really the body and the feet of a wolf. And then I looked at this wolf is actually jumping over the moon, right? And in that moment, I thought I need to have this on camera. But if I would have gone and searched my camera, I would never have seen the whole wolf jumping over the moon. I actually saw that happening. I don't have it on camera because, that just happens in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but to go back to the Russia issue, Karen, I mean, that's I'm thinking about it, but then again, I think, it might be a trap too. It just might be a trap.
Yeah. Well, see, and someone in chat says, Mr. Jones says, remember when America was the destination for those looking to be free from oppression? Exactly. Right. And now America is being oppressed. And we're like, over here wondering, well, where can we go? And it's like, And I've said this for a while. I'm like, man, I don't want to leave. Everybody, it's them who are making it suck. We need to kick them out. We need to shut them down, because we can't just keep running from one place to another to go find freedom, because they follow you and then they try to oppress you and take control over everything. And it's like, well, you can't run forever. At some point, people have to have some guts and stand up and just say, no, we're not allowing this anymore. We're not putting up with this anymore. You're not doing this to us. You know,
I think that's the best answer to my question, actually. And I didn't even ask you a question, but yeah, that is the dilemma, right? And how about not making the choice? How about just, standing our ground? Yeah.
Right? How about just not letting these people, because that's what they are ultimately. They're just other humans. They're not any better than any of us here who are living our lives.
They're usually very much worse, actually.
Yeah, exactly. They're much worse. They're like parasites, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem, is that people need to stop being so complacent. Complacency is like the worst thing. That's where most people are at. Oh, what can we do? We're going to vote our way out of it. No, you're not. You're not going to vote your way out of it.
I mean,
because
and you've probably also heard what's happening in the UK now, right? You can't speak out over K and I crimes, right? But you can do K and I crimes. You can do that, but you can speak out. It's
Yeah.
I mean, it's really ramping up like very, very quickly. And this guy's been arrested. What's his name? The owner of the instigator of Telegram. He's been arrested in France, and he's been asking for Russia to repatriate back into Russia, because that's where he comes from. Mm-hmm. So yeah, things are building up. They're building up this new narrative between France and Russia and free speech.
Yeah,
there's a lot of moves being made on this 7D chessboard.
Yeah. Don't you think that the powers that be, it's like what you were saying, or Dennis is saying, that America's power is dwindling. I feel like that's by design.
Yeah,
I feel like they've been trying to shift the power from the West back to the East. Again. And that's part of probably all what's going on with this migration and blah, blah, blah. It's like they don't want to let, it's like once people start living too good, it's like, oh, no, we're going to have to destroy that.
Yeah, and what it is, I mean, it's played on so many levels. So Europe will how do you say this, find a similarity with America in like the influx of, the absurd amount of influx of immigrants, right? And violent immigrants, illegal violent immigrants. But that's not the only thing that's going on. In the background, there's way different histories in America than to Europe. And as it goes in every country for Europe, so goes it for every state too. I mean, there's a lot of different backgrounds, and all these things are controlled. And it's hard to keep track of it all. And that's why people like you get frustrated. And of course, I mean, you're so. Well, today when you started your show, you were quite emotional about it. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I totally get it.
Because it's like, I have a lot of time and energy invested in doing what I do, and it's heartbreaking to see the people that you thought were like this group of people who were like actual thinkers, critical thinkers, and they understood the lies. And then you're watching them all fall for a different lie. And it boggles my mind. Like, I don't even know what that phenomena is or why that is even a thing. But I'm watching it happen, and I'm like, What's going on with you
You're
people?
the crazy one,
right?
Karen.
Yeah,
You're
right.
the crazy one.
I'm not the one not doing any research, but and people accuse me of not looking at anything. I look at everything. And most of it is crap. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then these people, it seems like a lot of people lately are just, they're allowing themselves to be, I don't know what it is, honestly. What is that? What is it?
Yeah, well,
when they're just going along with somebody's story, they have no proof, they have no evidence. It's just like somebody thought of a cool idea and they make a cool video and they put sounds over it, and then now it's like everybody's new religion.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's what is this saying of there will always be even in a university, right? When there's supposed to be like high-ranking IQ point people, right? So only people with high IQs are in universities, but even in people with high IQs, people make stupid mistakes, just like any collection of other people.
Yeah.
We're still people. We're still men. We're still women, right? We're still human.
Mm-hmm.
We all make mistakes and we're all stupid. Yeah. We don't want to be. We all want to be the best, but we're not.
No, we're not. We're all just trying to figure it out.
I fuck up regularly, right? But then again, I make good too. It's not only that I fuck up, I also do good things. But yeah, we fuck up sometimes,
Yeah.
We don't like to admit it. That's also why I, socially isolate myself. Like I don't want to meet up with too many people. Meet up, yeah, but I don't want to interact with too many people in a day because I just can't handle people. I just can't handle their usual the how do you say this, the easy way that people lie, just about anything and everything, on a daily basis just as a way for communication. Well, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Well, nobody's always doing fine, and when you ask people, how are you doing? Not doing so well. Nobody wants to ask, oh, shall we sit down, or do you want to talk about it? It's not like that. People don't ask you how you're doing to know how you're doing. It's just a way of saying. So that's wrong to begin with, Then you'd better just say hi. Hi.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the weather.
Yeah, let's talk about the weather. Well, it's chemtrails here.
Right, even the weather isn't a safe topic anymore, huh?
Right. You say that anymore. How about the weather? Well, it's chemtrails. Shit.
Carrie Brownyard says I work at a university. Trust me, not a lot of high IQ folks there.
Right. Yeah, well, and that's first-hand experience there. So yeah.
That's so funny.
It is. Okay. Hey, Karen, I truly enjoyed having some interaction with you again, and I'm gonna make some room for the next one. That's in the Zoom meeting, maybe.
All right, boy, it's good to hear from you, and
Yeah.
I hope you're well.
I'll be. Yeah, that's okay. You be good too with Ted and the chickens. Take.
All right, thank you.
Ciao.
It's chemtrails here, yeah. And where there is an epidemic, the group mind takes over. Let me read your comments. They're catching my eye. Durov is being scapegoated. Scapegoating is a practice commonly employed by people who display traits of narcissism, often taking the form of bullying. The fall of dynasties, the Bolshevik Revolution, World War I, World War II saw the destruction of old alliances and boundaries, the convulsions in religion, morals, family life, economic and political conduct, decadence in music and art can all be traced back to mass indoctrination, brainwashing practiced by the Tavistock Institute, social science scientists. Most people want excitement, so these mainstream documentaries are going to talk about more, let's say, colorful stuff. Bless you all abundantly and increase your faith in Jesus' name. Look, watch, listen, and waiting for his return. Peace be with all of you, says Flat Earth Andy. Take care, exposing Ma's tricks. People are exhausted and can't handle any more villain arcs. They need hope. That's why I think there is such resistance to grander conspiracies. I keep an open mind to everything. Can't talk about the weather unless you bring up how it's being engineered. Yeah. Yeah, the education system in America is lacking. Back to the USSR. Best neural stimulant is 8 hours sleep. Yeah. There's also people living in Russia. There's a woman named Tara Reid who was sexually assaulted by Joe Biden when she was working in Washington, D.C., and she was trying to get her political career started. And at the time, Biden was a senator or whatever he was back then in the 80s, and he sexually assaulted her. And when she did not accept or respond to his disgusting advances, he destroyed her career. And she was so harassed that she had to leave the country. She left the country to go live in Russia under political asylum. That is what, this is what's been done by the person who is the current president of the United States. Like, we have literal, pedos and people who are okay with sexually assaulting people running the country. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And everybody's so brainwashed that they don't get it. Well, not everybody, but the majority of people are still so brainwashed. I mean, look at what happens. Look at the state of the country. It's totally falling. Does Russia permit the herb? No, I don't think so. Because remember the whole thing with Brittany Griner, the basketball player who says that they're a chick, but it looks obviously like a dude. And then he was over there, she or whatever was over there in Russia playing some basketball game and smoking weed and then got thrown in jail for smoking weed. So, no, they don't mess around with that stuff over there. You got to be careful, you know. But, you know, but really, if you're talking about like livelihood in your life and quality of life, I mean, is being able to smoke pot, is that your deal breaker? For some people it could be, some people it's not. I don't know. Big government in all countries are corrupted. I agree. I don't trust any government. The number one killer of people is government. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen. I was wondering if you've ever heard of a guy named Bonhoeffer from Germany during World War II.
No. Bonhoeffer?
It starts with a B, like Karen B. Bonhoeffer.
Oh, Bonhoeffer, okay.
Yeah, and I just heard of him like a week ago, and I'm kind of shocked by his insights. He was a pastor as Nazi Germany was rising, and they put him in one of the labor camps for being a subversive, I guess. But while he was in there, he was trying to figure out why the population at large was going along with everything, right? And he was trying to just categorize people, and he's like, man, they can't all be evil, right? Not all the people in the population can be. What exactly is going on? And he figured out that, yeah, there's a few evil people. And by the way, this is exactly what we have going on in the West now. That's why I'm bringing this up. But yeah, there's a handful of evil people that know what they're doing. But there's a huge part of the population that suffer from what he called stupidity. And then he goes on to define what he means by stupidity. And can I read a couple of paragraphs about that?
Sure.
Okay. It's called The Enemy Within. In comic books and action movies, we know who the villain is. They wear dark clothes, kill on a whim, and cackle madly at their diabolical scheme. In life, too, we have obvious villains. The dictators who violate human rights, or serial killers and violent criminals. As evil as these people are, they are not the biggest threat since they are known. Once something is known evil, the good of the world can rally to defend and fight against it. As Bonhoeffer puts it, one may protest against evil. It can be exposed, and if need be, prevented by use of force. Evil always carries within itself the germ of its own subversion. Stupidity, though, is a different problem. We cannot so easily fight stupidity for two reasons. First, we are collectively much more tolerant of it. Unlike evil, stupidity is not a vice most of us take seriously. We do not lambaste others for ignorance. We do not scream down people for not knowing things. Second, the stupid person is a slippery opponent. They will not be beaten by debate or open to reason. What's more, when the stupid person has their back against the wall, when they're confronted with facts that cannot be refuted, they snap and lash out. Bonhoeffer puts it like this: neither protests nor the use of force accomplish anything here. Reasons fall on deaf ears. Facts that contradict one's prejudgment simply need not be believed by the stupid person. In such moments, the stupid person even becomes critical. And when facts are irrefutable, they just push them aside as inconsequential, as incidental. In all this, the stupid person, in contrast to the malicious one, is utterly self-satisfied, and being easily irritated becomes dangerous by going on the attack.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot about our society right now.
Yeah.
And I see this, not to be political or put people in a box or anything, but I see this especially on the left. There's a lot of go along to get along on the right, but on the left, it's people seem to go along with all the Marxism and communism and all of that, and they refuse to study history or think about it. They just kind of repeat slogans, and they want to be in the in group, and that's all, even if it means destroying society. But I just thought that was pretty brilliant what this guy in a concentration camp came up with about what was going on in Germany.
Yeah.
And then that was an interesting conversation he had with Pat about Russia. I keep my eye on Russia, and I listen to Putin's speeches, and he says all the right stuff in his speeches. His speeches are great. One of his speeches even came right out, and he was talking about the woke, everything about woke, including transgenderism. And Putin said, "This is nothing new. None of this is new. We've all been here before, and we were here. We were doing a bunch of that stuff in Russia."
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I was shocked to hear Putin actually admitting the problem with communism in that way. He never used the word communism, but that's what he was talking about with the Soviet Union. And I was very pleasantly surprised that he was so openly talking about that in his speech.
Yeah. But yeah, all this stuff was going on. There were like trans surgeries and stuff on people. All this stuff happened back in like the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
they were doing all that stuff.
It was going on in the Weimar Republic,
right?
Right before the Nazis took power.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it's completely tied always with communism. And Hitler did a bunch of evil shit, obviously, but that was one of his main things was, we're sick of this and we're not going to let this communism take over Germany like Russia did.
Yeah.
But the Weimar Republic was, man, it was a lot like the U.S. is now.
Yeah, that's one thing that has come out too, is like all the book burnings the Nazis did. What books were they burning? Well, they were burning those books, all the pervert books.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that like the Nazis were good, because it's like,
right.
It's like this thing, it seems to happen, like the society gets pushed to this sort of degenerate side, and then here comes the jackboot to put your boot on the neck to put people back in line. It's like nobody can just live a balanced life, stuff has to always get pushed from one extreme to the other. And why is that? Why can't we all just live a balanced life?
Right. It's a pendulum that swings, and once it swings super far left, they're really authoritarian. So then there's this huge authoritarian reaction.
Which I think is what's starting to happen now in this country. If you've noticed, like all the white supremacists are starting to become more vocal and talk about we need to have white this and white that and white power. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's not really productive either.
Right.
It's like...
Well, it gets a little complicated. It gets a lot complicated because the ones that are truly subverting our country and doing all the woke crap that are in power, they're manufacturing a ton of that. And what they're hoping to do is to make it reality. because they want the conflict. They need the conflict. So they're trying to. They started out by trying to paint all conservatives as white supremacists. You know, they just started saying that crap out of the blue, and nothing was even going on.
Yeah.
But then you get some stupid people on the right that start to eat it up, and they're like, yeah. And in other words, this is manufactured at first, and then they start getting people going. Yeah, it's by design. It's just to destroy. But back to Putin and Russia. I keep trying to watch what they do, not what Putin says, and they're doing all the right stuff. They're even giving massive tax breaks to people for having kids. And he's promoting Christianity, which was always a huge part of Russia, of course. And just not doing any of the woke crap.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, wanting to maintain their borders and keep a nation instead of what all the Western countries are being driven to do with destroying the borders and not having nations. You know, one world order crap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Russia, if you ever just watch videos of people on the street, looking pretty great. But I don't know if I could ever live there. I lived in Nepal for 7 years. So I'm not adverse to living in a foreign country. Russia's just so foreign, though. And I think I'm too old to learn Russian.
Yeah, that'd be the hardest part for me, is trying to learn that language, because it's so different. It's a completely different alphabet than, English. So,
and also
that'd
in
be
Nepal,
my biggest hang up.
damn near everyone speaks English in Nepal. So that was pretty easy in that regard.
You know, it seems like a lot of these countries, they speak English. Like in Paris, everybody spoke English. Although there were some parts of Italy, like only in Rome I could find, only in the bigger cities you can find people that speak English. But like in the countryside, they did not speak English. They were only in Italian.
Yeah. Same thing with Latin American countries. Even Mexico. I mean, you either speak Spanish or forget about it.
Right.
And good for them. Anyway, I just thought you would find that interesting from Bonhoeffer. He's an interesting dude. There's some good YouTube videos about him too, if you ever want to look it up. It not only applies to what's being done politically right now in the West, but it applies to things that you get frustrated by, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of arrested development, to that Aussie's point. There's a lot of unwell people and people who refuse to finish growing up. People who are still just all about their comic book heroes. I mean that literally. It's like they remain in adolescence.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Bye. 11:11. Ooh, missed it. I'm pretty sure. Look, I'm not big on transvestigation, but the Brittany Griner person definitely looks like a dude. There was this. In fact, this person, I just went and tried to find her Instagram, and I couldn't find it. But on his own Instagram, her own Instagram, whatever, this is a picture. This is Brittany Griner playing by the pool without a top on. That's a dude. I mean, it's got the same body build as that Iman Khalef dude person. I mean, maybe she's a hermaphrodite. Maybe they're both hermaphrodites. But that's not a standard female. I'm sorry, it's just not. That's not a standard female. I mean, that looks like a dude. It's a skater. Marty Leeds stream yesterday about the KKK puts everything into context instead of the white man, bad, evil, racist, slave owner narrative we're raised to believe grandma and grandpa weren't racist. Really? I'll have to watch that. I missed his stream yesterday because, as I said, what I was doing is I've been, I spent a lot of time outside doing yard work. My body hurts, my body is sore, my elbow hurts. But it felt good to get out and do some hard work out in nature and not be looking at bullshit on the internet. Maybe intersex, but not a standard female. I'm just saying, that does not look like a standard female to me. That player, Caitlyn, or somebody's also a dude, yeah. I mean, I understand that women's sports are not very exciting. You know, they don't make a lot of money, they don't get a lot of viewership. It's not the same as man sports. But we don't need to, like, make women's sports out of man players. I don't know, what is that? I don't know. Not a hermaphy? I'll have to check it out. I like Marty's streams. Huh. Yeah, I like the work Marty does. Okay, I don't think Jennifer Aniston is a dude. That does not look like a dude to me. I also don't think that Sandra Bullock is a dude. I think it's actually pretty obvious. I've said this before, I think it's obvious when someone's a transformer, unless they're a little Asian man. Then it's hard to tell. Or some other nationality or race that is smaller in stature. Marty talks about New World Jewry. Yeah, I like what Marty talks about. I can't complain. Aniston is not a dude. Yeah, I don't think Jennifer Aniston's a dude. The spinning wheel of death. My connection says excellent. Should be okay. Let's see. What are you guys saying over here in Rumble? Aussie flat earthers do exist, yes. Russia might be cool, better than working in a factory until death. Weed sucks. If you are truly trying to help the stupid, then you can't use the language of the smart to speak of it. You are just trying to get attention and acceptance from other people you want to belong to. If the useful idiots are so useful, then we are stupid as shit for not being able to use them effectively as our enemies. She has no boobies. What about Taylor Swift? Yeah, I know everybody's saying Taylor Swift is a dude. I don't. I saw some people saying Taylor Swift is a dude. I mean, I don't know. Could just be a skinny white girl with no butt. Most white girls have no butt. That's like how they always were. I don't know. See, I don't even like getting into transvestigation because a lot of it you can't even prove. You know, a lot of it is going to be anecdotal. But there's certain, individuals that I feel like it's obvious. It's obvious, I mean, I grew up in San Francisco. Well, not in San Francisco. I was born in San Francisco and I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area in the 80s and the 90s. And I probably have had, over my lifetime, more exposure to Transformers than most people because of growing up in that area, right? Like, I remember being in junior high, and me and my friends would take the bus to San Francisco and go hang out for the day. And there were obvious dudes, dressed like women with lipstick on. And, like, we always knew which ones were the dudes who were dressed like women. Like, it was obvious. I think it's still like that most of the time. It's obvious, when it's a dude trying to dress like a woman. There's the rare cases when it's not obvious. That's rare. She's retarded whether she's a dude or not. Who's retarded? Go to Nordstrom Web and you'll see a lot of Transformers 6 foot tall knobby knees. On the fence about Sandra Bullock. I don't know, she just doesn't look like a dude to me. Taylor is huge, 5'9" or 5'10", but there's a lot of tall women though. Like, I was friends with a girl who was legit 6 foot tall. And she's a woman. She gave birth to multiple children. She dated men. There's legit tall women. That's like a lot of these models and stuff. They're just tall women. I mean, go to the Netherlands. There's lots of tall blonde chicks. I was, you always hear that, but when I was in Amsterdam, I was like, dude, these people are legit tall white people. Legitimately tall white people all over the place around here. Melted trannies are actually giant trees moving upward. Oh my god. Doesn't mean she's a dude. Yeah. One of my best friends is a woman over 6'2". Seriously. I've met some tall bitches, man. There's some tall bitches. And also I had a friend in high school, her mom, where these friends in high school where their parents, like, they're a mixed family, right? There was like a brother and a sister and then two sisters, and their families married, and the mom of the two sisters was legit like over 6 feet tall, like a 6 foot tall woman, and both of her daughters were very tall, and her husband was like 5.5 feet. So the wife was taller than the man, but and they're still together as far as I know, and they were very happy together. But, you know, just because somebody's tall doesn't make them a tranny. Nephilim trannies. It's a man, yeah. I heard that clones don't have a belly button and Taylor Swift have never shown her belly button. I don't know. I don't believe in clones. I don't believe in cloned people either. You see, like, there's so many things that people believe. I don't believe these things. I think they're, you know, let's go back to this person who was commenting earlier about the Tavistock Institute. You guys, governments have been studying the psychology of humans for decades. They've been performing experiments on people for decades. They have this is not even a secret. They know how to fuck with people. They know exactly how to fuck with people and fuck them up real good. Excuse my language. I know I'm dropping an F-bomb, but seriously, the government knows, these entities know how to fuck with people. They know how to mind fuck you up, down, and sideways until you don't know what the fuck. Okay? So some of us have managed to sort of unfuck ourselves from the mind fucking that we are all subjected to from birth now, with like the advent of television and technology and everything, and people, you know, parents who are unaware, having this stuff on, letting their children be programmed by it, you know, they're programmed by it. It's just rampant now. Most people in the world are brainwashed and have no idea about what the real world is or how it works. And the governments have spent a lot of time, or whoever it is. I just say government because that's what I think most of the atrocities are committed by the governments, which put themselves in power over people, and then people are just happy to let the government have that power, and they'll fight for that government and all that stuff. How we got to that point, I don't know. That's probably taken thousands of years too, but so the point is that these psychological operations, like, they know how people's minds work. They know what sort of disinformation and what sort of, you know, seed to plant into the minds of people to distract them, to disrupt, to divide, you know, all that stuff. And I believe that is what's happening in the Flat Earth movement, because they tried to just censor it. They tried to just use algorithms, and it didn't work. So now what? Well, I believe that certain ideas are being inserted into the community, and they've done it in a way, and they've done it with certain, you know, that people have latched onto this, and they've accepted it and are now pushing it like it's truth, or like I said before, it's become their new religion. And now it doesn't matter what ridiculous things people say, as long as it goes against the official mainstream narrative, it's acceptable. So, you know, all these people to me now, they're like, oh, you know, if I say I don't agree with their ridiculous assertions, oh, it's because you believe the mainstream story, Karen. You believe mainstream, when no, I don't believe mainstream. I don't disregard everything mainstream either, because it's truth mixed with lies. And the whole point of you know, deprogramming is separating that, the truth from the lies, right? Truth and lies have been so interwoven together in absolutely everything that goes on in this world, that it's a chore. It's a daily chore. It's a constant battle to unweave those lies from the truth. And so many people just give up. I think it just gets tiring. Look at me, I'm tired. So many other people, Brian's tired. Everybody's tired, right? Because it's a constant battle. And so I think it just gets to the point where it's just easier for people to just say, oh yeah, that's true. This is what's going on. We got it all figured out. I can stop thinking now. I can stop trying. I can stop investigating now because, oh yeah, all the giants did it. It was melted. There was a giant dew weapon strapped onto an airship and it melted everything. Got it all figured it out. Next. It's like, you don't understand. We're going to be fighting this battle probably for forever. Forever. I mean, look at history. It's been going on forever. People have been lied to forever. Like looking at how, like talking about the Weimar Revolution and the whole communist thing and like the deception being put on people, the degradation of society by these powers that should not be. It's all happened before. And then we fought against it, or people at the time fought against it, and now it's happening again. Why? Because history repeats itself. This is history repeating itself. And it's always going to be a battle. You're always going to be, fighting for truth or fighting to not be dragged down by lies or by people who want to drag you down or want to control you or want to take from you. Somebody's always trying to take from you or, something. It's a constant freaking battle. Love trolling the truth community hard. It is. It's a constant battle. I mean, look at how many people who have been here for years and they're just succumbing to it. That's what I see. I see people succumbing to a new form of mind fuckery that came completely out of left field. It didn't come from the normal places that it normally comes from. But there it is. Distracting people, leading people down the wrong path, dividing, causing division. And then if you say, hey, I don't know if that's such a good idea, well, now you're the crazy one. You're the gatekeeper. Stop gatekeeping me from my fantasy stories, Karen. Reverse engineering the Bible. What does that mean? As South Carolina is beautiful in September. The Carolinas in September. And anybody who's even been to the events in October, which is a month later, this is like the best time. It's not too hot. It's not too humid. It's like that transitional time before it gets too cold and after it's been really ridiculously hot and humid. It was a disgustingly hot and humid summer this summer. Yeah, it's going to be great. The weather is going to be... It's going to be tits. Cheers, Nate Richards. Enjoying a Slurpee, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Enjoy your Slurpee. Somebody was investigating about Crohn's, and there is data that people with money will pay for a Chrome, but the only problem is they don't last long and they start glitching. At this point, everything is... What? I don't know what that means. The brainwashing social engineering programming goes so deep that even flat earthers have serious problems. Well, that's what I'm saying, because they hear it from... They think they're hearing it from somebody else who... I don't know, man. There's just... I don't know. It's a difficult thing that we're navigating here. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Because people don't know what they don't know, and then they start figuring stuff out, and they start coming to these wrong conclusions, and then they get married. They marry to it. They're like, no, this is it. This is the truth. How can you not see it? You know? And then they start gaslighting you and saying, well, you must think you still live on a globe then, Karen, if you don't see that all of the mountains are giant tree stumps. You must still think you live on a globe. You know, they gaslight you. And in that old world movie, they gaslight you like that. The same fucking bullshit tactic. There's this part where that Longo guy does like a 2-minute spiel about, oh, I want you to imagine that you're a creator, or the creator or whatever, or a ruler, but not a very benevolent ruler. And he gives you this whole false dichotomy where there's the dark, evil ruler who wants you to think you live on a globe, and and then there's the good God who created the flat earth for you and wants you to live the best life you have, and and is beauty and promotes beauty and blah blah blah. Well, you know, like basically presenting it in a way where you're supposed to be like, oh yeah, I'm down with the creation and the creator and a benevolent creator, and so yeah, sure, I'm gonna go ahead and believe that we didn't build all these buildings and they were all already here before, and whatever bullshit story. Like their stuff is not even cohesive. They just like took a bunch of crap together and throw it all in there, and it's like, and people are like, oh, it's so amazing. They really nailed it. Nailed what? It's a bunch of bullshit. You know, they like basically trying to tell you in there that if you don't believe their old world story, then you might as well think you live on a globe. And that shit pisses me off so bad when you disagree with someone and they're like, oh, well, why don't you just go back to the globe then, Karen? Well, why don't you just go fuck off? Huh? How about that? Trading one belief is not necessarily progress. That's what I'm saying. You know? It's like, I'm all about logic, reality. Like, I like some stuff that's kind of out there and fantastical and outside the realm of, like, that's cool. It's cool to go there once in a while, but man, when you people try to tell me that bullshit is real life, I just can't help but think y'all are just not very smart. It will be warm, hot. It'll be like, it's gonna be great. It should be like 70s type of. The idea of a purely benevolent creator is not biblical. I agree. But that's the bullshit they try to feed you in that. I could even pull it up and we can watch it if you want. You know, I have a whole thing. I have a whole thing where like I started editing a video where I was making a big debunk video on the Old World Order movie because it is so easy to debunk. But then here's the thing. All of these mentally unwell people who are going along with that nonsense will just say, oh, you believe mainstream. Oh, those pictures are fake, right? So like, and even when I was doing that stream with Rose on Nachiketa's channel, we're showing those pictures, half the people are saying those pictures are fake, and then half of them were saying that the pictures proved their point. So are the pictures real and prove there's a mud flood, or are they fake? Like, you can't even decide if pictures are acceptable or not. you know, or they have they pick selectively. Oh, these pictures are acceptable and real because they go along and they push the narrative. But these over here that show construction and these pictures where it shows all these people working and actually building these things, yeah, those are fake because those don't go along with the narrative of these old world order people. And the hypocrisy, it's blatant hypocrisy. And nobody even bats an eye. It's like everybody's okay with it. You're just all okay with it. Like, it blows my mind. That's why I'm like, what is going on around here? Does nobody care about logic or reason or anything like that? Like, isn't that how we became flat earthers? That's how I became a flat earther, because I thought flat earth was stupid. It was ridiculous to me. I didn't even want to look at it. I kept, you know, I had one person on my friends list who kept posting flat earth stuff, right? And then I finally looked at it. I was like, I'm going to watch this video, and then I'm going to tell this person why they're stupid and they're wrong, and then I'm going to delete them off Facebook. Well, that never happened, because I watched the video and I thought, well, shit, that's not exactly, I thought it was going to be dumb. There's good questions in there. Let me go see if I can figure out the answer. Let me just see if I can do this. And then for the next couple of weeks, I was trying to debunk flat earth and I couldn't. Because logically, logic and reason helped me to see the truth, right? Logic and reason. That's how I got here. Now, it's like all that gets thrown out the window. There is no more logic and reason. It's just like, oh, this looks like a tree stump. It must be a tree stump. Oh, it looks melted. It must have been melted. Yep, it's melted. Even though you have no idea what the material is of that quote unquote melted feature is. You guys can't even prove that you call it vitrified. Vitrified means it was turned into glass. Okay? If these things were melted, they would have a layer of glass on top of them, or they'd be literally made of glass. And they're not. They're like sandstone and limestone, and they're wind and water eroded features. This has nothing to do with anything being fucking melted. You know? So where's the logic? Why is logic and reason being thrown out? Why is everything being discarded? It's like, you guys don't need, like I've said before, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There is still truths out there. Things did happen. We did get here by the work of humans and human ingenuity, you know? Go look at anything, God, anything that is amazing. Humans did that. You know, you guys just want to, and then they want to go back in time and act like humans back in the day couldn't do anything. You know, they had no thinking skills, no reasoning. They didn't have no knowledge of building things, or didn't do any trial and error. I mean, we're talking about thousands of years in the past. You think that humans were just walking around finding shit the whole time and not actually building anything? I mean, seriously, it doesn't even make sense. It just doesn't even make sense. Flat Earth Clues Director's Cut. Hi, Rose. Settle down South Dakota Black Hills today. Tower of Babylon would be today's Burj Khalifa. I mean, maybe. Although I don't know this because I haven't really researched the Tower of Babylon, but from what I recall, somebody said that they researched how big the Tower of Babylon was, and from what they could gather, like, the base of it was like a square mile. I mean, we're talking about a huge base. I don't know how high they got up. But the base of this thing was like a mile. Apparently, I don't know if that's real or not. SpaceX is today's Tower of Babel, or space. Maybe. How are you doing, Rose? Have you gotten any kickback or hate after doing that stream with me where we basically crapped on old world order stuff? The fallacy where modern man thinks they're smarter than their ancestors is something intellectual snobbery. Yeah, man. They didn't have reinforced steel back then, right? I wonder if I can find anything on it. I'm just curious right now. They think it was a ziggurat? One of the many fantastic stories in the book of Genesis is the Tower of Babel, a tall construction made in Babylonia after the deluge. The gist of the story is all human beings used to speak the same language. As they came to settle in Mesopotamia, they decided to build a city with a tower to reach the heavens. Through this endeavor, mankind intended to create a name for himself. God, however, had other plans. Mankind's language was confused, and they were scattered over the earth. As a result, the city and tower were never completed. Regardless of whether you believe this story actually took place, there are several interesting ways of looking at it. One way of approaching the story is a literal approach. If one accepts that the Tower of Babel was a historical fact, then it would be expected that some sort of remains or ruins of the tower would exist. This, however, has not been identified by archaeology. The closest candidate for the Tower of Babel may perhaps be the Etemenanke of Babylon. This was a ziggurat dedicated to Marduk, the patron god of Babylon. It has been claimed that the structure was the inspiration for the Tower of Babel. Given that ziggurats were found in Mesopotamia, the setting of the story, and that they were monumental structures, it's not too often difficult to see they may have been used in the story of the Tower of Babel. Remains of the foundations. That's the remains, huh? Well... So they never actually found the remains of an actual Tower of Babel. My wife just told me you're done. Uh-oh. Let's prank call Emily from Flatober. When you look at heavy ships, anything pre-World War II is considered different. Supposedly post-nuclear bomb era steel is inferior. Why would it be? Is it a different... do they mix it with different stuff? Do they make an alloy? I don't understand. They claim it's to do with what was released with the bombs. If the Tower of Babel's a real thing, it would be so huge it wouldn't recognize what they're... I mean, maybe. I'm not so sure that nukes are what they say they are. I'm pretty positive that nukes... They don't have nuclear bombs. I feel like if they had nuclear bombs... they'd have been using them this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to destroy shit so badly. I feel like if they had that, they'd have been using them. Was Göbekli Tepe the Tower of Babel? Well, that's in Turkey. So I think it's not in the right area. Southeastern Anatolia region of Turkey. Is that the same as Babylon? Within Iraq. So they're saying Babylon was actually within Iraq area. Babylon in 1932. Ruins. Runes. How come when I click on that there's no... Modern-day Iraq. Capital city of Babylonia, an archaeological site in modern-day Iraq. This photo from the Iraqi invasion of 2003 shows the foot of Saddam Hussein's former summer palace with the ruins of ancient Babylon in the background. Artist impressions of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Something about the Hanging Gardens. So it's south of Baghdad, where Göbekli Tepe is in Turkey. So it's not the same. Göbekli Tepe, though, this is actually very interesting because, and this came up actually in my talk with Mario, because he was talking about how ancient structures, ancient people used to set up their spaces in a circular way, not like a box. And so right here you see a sample of like a circular shaped ruin from Göbekli Tepe. But it's really interesting because this is supposed to be one of the oldest known ruins, right? I don't know, everybody will like jump all over me and be like, oh, you believe mainstream. Oh. Look it's old as fuck, okay? I don't know how old it is. But what's interesting about it is that they stopped excavating it. It's supposed to be super, there's like, that's sort of how you learn about history, right? Is by looking at ruins from the past. It's like pretty much the only thing that we can physically learn from as in regards to history, world history or human history, right? And they decided to cover it up and they're not going to excavate it anymore. They put these platforms on top of it. I watched a video about it recently too, where the guy was talking about how they're just, they literally put platforms on top of it and they just covered up most of the site, and they said that they aren't going to excavate it. They'll just leave it for future generations. Well, if you build stuff on top of it and make it like, so nobody's going to excavate it? Like, how much longer do you have to wait, and why aren't you letting people excavate it now? What if Göbekli Tepe is an ancient city from the giants, right? That's kind of my suspicion, that this could be a city where giants lived. Maybe. Because there is lots of evidence of giants. Like I can't deny that there's tons of evidence for the existence of giants. I don't agree with the whole Titan thing. Like I'm not going to sit here and go off the deep end and tell you that all the mountains are like petrified giants. That I think is ridiculous. However, there could have been a real race of people who were larger in stature than ourselves, as is talked about in scripture and some ancient texts, and as skeletons have been found all over the place throughout history. So something's going on there, and I feel like this is like a literal cover-up. This Göbekli Tepe site is literally, they literally built stuff over it. Does it have a website? I want to see current pictures. They don't even show you the pictures of the new... Here we go. So here, see how they've got platforms they've built all around it now. Literally covering up sections of it that can't be excavated now. See, this is not even accurate because now there's a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. This looks like a LiDAR picture. Interesting. See, they're not even showing you what they've done to it. Göbekli Tepe was first identified as an archaeological site in 1963 during a survey conducted by Turkish and American scientists. 15 kilometers northeast of Sanliurfa. I can't say that name. Due to its location and topographical features, the significance of the site was not fully appreciated at the time of its initial recognition. It was assumed to be a cemetery based on the presence of limestone blocks across hillside. Between 1995 and 2006, continuous excavations were conducted under the direction of blah-bitty-blah museum. See, this isn't even showing how much of it they have covered up. I can't even believe that they don't even show you up-to-date pictures of how much they've covered it up. Göbekli Tepe situation is worse than I thought.
The situation at
I wonder if this is where I watched...
In this video,
I did. Disturbing update. You won't believe this about Göbekli Tepe. Now, I don't subscribe to this channel. I don't know if they're full of dump or whatever. But, it is interesting. Let me see if I can find the pictures where this guy shows where they actually covered up. Because I can't even find it, and you guys are sitting here with me, right, watching. You can't even find it, what they did to the site. Here, okay. There we go. So it looks like this, and they've got these platforms, right? I mean, what did they have to do to install these platforms and cover it? Here's what it looks like. Remember what I was just showing you, how it was all uncovered? Like, only thing that was there was this part. This is here. There's platforms and walkways. This is all covered now. And they have installed these platforms and stuff where they could be continuing excavation, but they're just not. They're just shut it down. And... they've made it like a, look at, they've installed these pillars down in there. What are they doing? What did they destroy to have to install this platform? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? And then just say, oh, okay, we're done. We're not going to excavate it anymore. Maybe someone in the future will do it. We're done. There's nothing else to look at. Here, let's make this cool platform and make it a tourist attraction. Let's stop learning from it. It's just weird. I can't remember what. My friend who worked in a copper mine would frequently come across supposedly radioactive pieces, and they have to walk through a detector on the way out so they can't steal any. Off the coast of SC near Charleston, there was a Topper River site. Are you talking about digging for crystals, Jana? Because sometimes sites will be open for a while and then they'll just close it. The globe Earth era originated in Babylon, Mesopotamia, and cosmic geography by Wayne Horowitz shows the earliest globe Earth maps came from Sumeria. Yeah, uranium can be found in the ground. There's mining companies who take the dirt from copper mines and extract uranium ore from it. The cedars of Lebanon was the original Lebanon? I don't know. I'm about to take pain meds for the first time today. I can barely move without almost dropping. Oh, I'm sorry, Rethink. I'm feeling that too. After going and doing a bunch of physical work this weekend, my body hurts. Maybe an arc underneath. One nail that pinned Christ to cross is said to be inside the column of Constantine in Istanbul, which is column of Revelations 18 above water after its empire is destroyed. I'd swear it's zinc that's supposed only come from meteors. Nickel. Need pain medicine so bad, but I don't want to be constipated. I hear ya. Had to do with Native Americans, so it was like an archaeological site. I mean, sometimes after it's been picked through so much, there's just not much to be found there after a while. Nukes were mentioned earlier, which made me think of the Tunguska event. Tunguska, yeah. We're told probable cause is a meteor airburst of asteroid or comet, but we all know that's not what happened, so thoughts? Well, I don't know that things don't necessarily fall out of the sky. I just don't think they're meteors from outer space. The one that flattened all the trees. Enormous explosion that is estimated to have occurred at 7:14 a.m. plus or minus 1 minute, June 30th, 1908, at an altitude of 5 to 10 kilometers. Flattening some 2,000 square feet, charring more than 100 square kilometers of pine forest near the Podkamenya Tunguska River in central Siberia. On the basis of historical records of significance, noctilucent cloud developed in the skies over Europe following the event. Some scientists contend that a comet caused the explosion. Such clouds are thought to be the result of a sudden influx of ice crystals into the atmosphere. What's a noctilucent cloud? Rare cloud form probably composed of ice crystals and dust from meteor smoke that occurs at a higher altitude than any other cloud form. It's weird. Oh, contrail. Yeah. What's a noctilucent cloud? Oh, so it's just like stuff in the air? No confirmed record of their observation exists before 1885, although they may have been observed a few decades earlier by blah blah blah. Well, that's interesting that it was not observed before 1885. Exhaust from space shuttles, which was almost entirely water vapor after the detachment of the solid rocket booster. Noctilucent clouds were observed in 1885, 2 years after the 1983 eruption of Krakatoa. Weird. Such clouds are thought to be the result of a sudden influx of ice crystals into the upper atmosphere, such as those that could have been triggered by the rapid vaporization of a comet. Well, now think about this. If we do live in an enclosed system like we think, and there are waters above, it's not going to be liquid water. There's going to be water in some different form, possibly frozen, possibly the fourth phase of water, maybe frozen water, and then the water right next to that is in the fourth phase. Maybe the physical enclosure is constantly growing and regenerating itself, and every once in a while a chunk falls off and falls through the sky, and that's what happens. I mean, think about it. Like, I think about it this way. It's like when I'm cooking. I was thinking about this too when I was cooking, because I have a gas cooktop, right? And you cook stuff, and if a little bit of water or whatever falls off the side of the pot and falls down into the fire, what happens? The fire flames up. It right? It grows for a minute. Like a little bit of water flares up the fire where a lot of it will drown it out. Does that make sense? It's weird. So, I don't know. You get a crazy pressure differential and stuff happens. Oxy powder pills clear out the bowels. Methadone made me super constipated. Yeah, that's what that stuff does, man. Clouds that glow. There's evidence that show that radiation can cause cellular deterioration, but the idea of these massive bombs that can destroy the planet forever is poppycock. Yeah. That's one thing that, like Mario said. He talks about how he doesn't think that humans can destroy this place. I don't either, and I don't think humans can reset it either. I don't think that, like, these people who go around talking about, all these different resets. Oh, there was a reset here, and a reset there, and a reset here, and a reset there. Dude, shit happens. Civilizations rise and fall. Look at how much stuff has changed in just the last 100 years that we've witnessed. Look how much the maps have changed, countries' names have changed, Stuff's always going on. But it's not like there's, some group that's, reset. They hit a reset button and they, flood out a certain area and, wipe out this place. And, oh, let's hit a reset button over here and wipe out that place. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. And if it did, don't you think that they would just have done that to us by now? Like, what are they waiting for? Push the reset button, motherfucker. If you can reset everything, if you got so much power, go ahead and push it. No, they don't. They have to subvert everybody over time with programming and propaganda and like brute force. Of history's deadliest patterns, when a rising power threatens to displace a ruling one, the most likely outcome is war. 12 of 16 cases in which this occurred in the past 500 years end of... Yeah. Mic check time. What's oxy powder? Seriously, don't you think if they could just reset things so easily, if that was an easy thing, don't you think it would have been done already before shit got out of control? Like, why even... Seriously, think about it. I mean, and then also look around you and look at how self-destructive humans can be. Well, disasters do happen. That's what I'm saying. It's like natural disasters happen. Do you guys remember in 2003 or 2004 or whatever when that crazy tsunami hit Asia, India and Asia and Thailand and killed like hundreds of thousands of people? Nature's brutal. Shit happens. You know? The only thing constant is that nature is here. Always doing its stuff, always constantly trying to recycle and break stuff down and incorporate it back into nature. Do you know how many houses in like this 7-mile stretch of road are being swallowed up by the woods right now? I see them all the time, houses being completely swallowed up by the woods. All you have to do, like, if humans aren't there to maintain their creations, their buildings, their structures, they degrade. They degrade over time. That's just how it goes. You have to maintain your house. How many of you live in a house and you don't do fuck all to fix it ever? You don't do anything. You don't ever have to paint the walls. You don't have to replace the roof. You don't have to fix the pipes. You don't have to redo the concrete. You need to redo the driveway. It just stays that way forever once you make it. Nothing bad ever happens. There's never any hailstorms that come and like cause damage to your house or your car. Nothing. It's like everybody just thinks that like all these buildings just hung out for 1,000 years and we walked up and there they were, perfect, pristine, and we're just going to move right in. Hey, thanks. That doesn't even make sense. You know, all these things have to be maintained. Even these ancient, ruins where they made shit out of stone, those don't even last forever. They get weathered. Things break down. You know, just look at how things work around you. Nothing lasts forever. Human creations don't last forever. Everything's constantly being recycled, you know? Or like even these cathedrals and stuff. Everybody talks about, oh, they were here for 1,000 years. Yeah, dude. Do you know how much maintenance goes into keeping those cathedrals up? Oh, and people say, oh, and I went there and some of it looked new. Yeah, because they got to restore them. They have to add stuff and restore it because they're falling apart. Things do not last forever. Humans, there's nothing that humans make that lasts forever. There just isn't. Everything is once you start making something, like immediately it starts to degrade. You buy your car, you drive your car, you use your car around, and eventually the car needs its oil changed, it needs a new timing belt, it needs new tires, it needs new brakes. That's just how it goes. And everybody wants to act like there's some like mystical, magical way that they built buildings 1,000 years ago, that they're still here 1,000 years later in the exact same condition that they were before. Like, it doesn't even make sense. I really have to wonder, do you guys just throw logic completely out the window? Do you ever apply logic to anything? Anything that's beyond like a like a 2 or 3 year old, like matching shapes type of level. Like the triangle toy goes in the triangle hole. The circle toy goes in the circle hole. Do you go beyond that sort of logic? Ever? You know, do we have the technology to build cool stuff, or we don't? You can't even make up your mind. It's like 1 minute it's like, oh, we used to build stuff with such, you know, brilliance and built to last and beauty and customization, and then the next words are like, we could never have built that stuff. We don't have the technology, not our civilization. We couldn't have done it. In that stupid old world movie, both of those points are brought up. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like, well, are they old buildings or are they new buildings? It's like they can't decide if the buildings were already here and we found it and they've been here for 1,000 years, and then you got Max Egan on there going, all this stuff is brand new. I've looked at it. It's not old. It's brand new. Well, is it new or is it old? You know, make up your fucking mind. Kudzu is swallowing the South, I've heard. It is. You can eat it, though, but nobody does. Grows a foot a day. Look at the Tower of Babel. 1 square mile basin, now there's nothing there. Stone buildings burned down. Apparently stone is highly flammable. Well, you know what's funny is fires explode. So like if there's a fire inside of a closed object, it's building up pressure, and then sometimes fires explode. So, and then also when those fires were happening in these old towns, apparently one of the ways that they were trying to stop the fires was like by blowing up buildings that were in the path of the fire. They thought they could create a fire break by blowing up buildings. So some of the buildings that exploded were exploded on purpose to try to stop the fire and not because of the fire. The minute you're born. What now? Chat's jumping. You're either growing or you're dying, glass half full kind of thing. Yeah. I'm a qualified glazer and putting square glass and aluminum frames on sky rises. Hi, Patricia. MiG-31 can fly close to 100,000 feet? Really? Never go full Max Egan. Apply logic into how much effort and work that has to go into just creating one statue. If one tiny part of it breaks off, you must start from the beginning. Just working in wood. I get it. Yes. What is this oxy powder shit y'all are talking about? I swear to God, I feel like you guys are talking about like OxyClean. Like it makes me think about laundry. What is oxy powder? Fire melts my bricks in the fireplace. You know what? I was saying that I wanted to get like a Fresnel lens and melt some bricks at Flatoberfest, and then I realized that was a horrible idea. Oh. Is YouTube gonna kick me out? Am I still here? I think YouTube wants to dump me. What is it? I don't even know what it is. And why are you addicted to it? What's in it that makes it addictive? Supplements aren't supposed to be addictive. And then the link you set doesn't even, it goes to everything. It doesn't just go to the oxy powder. Let me search. Colon cleanser. This product is based on discoveries by Nikola Tesla over 100 years ago. Tesla was able to bond ozone to magnesium and create a phenomenal breakthrough product that is nourishing, detoxifying, and cleansing all at the same time. Do gas, bloating, or occasional constipation make you feel like your digestive system needs a tune-up? Maybe you just want to counteract the effects of toxins that permeate our food, water, and air. Bruh. Interesting. But I still say supplements should not be addictive. Anyone who doesn't listen to Mark Sargent Tuesday at 10 p.m. on his channel, They Show Strange World, please join us tomorrow. Why? I changed a ton of stuff on the show. You changed a bunch of stuff on the show, Patricia? New format? You got Mark to change the format of Strange World? Get out of here. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's so funny because when Mark, when we stopped being on TFR because TFR went down the tubes, they weren't even maintaining the station or whatever. And we just weren't even bothering with it. I was like, so Mark, what do you want to do? Do you want to change something? Do you want to, no, same time. Same 4 breaks. Didn't want to change anything. Even though he was no longer tied to that schedule, nothing was changing. Nothing. And I was like, okay. We'll just keep doing it this way. Sometimes the wrenches get glitchy, but you should still have one. I have used the Oxer powder and it works. If you're ever feeling backed up, take 4 or 5 pills with a glass of water before bed. In the AM, you're pooping. Okay. Interesting. I'll try to stay up tomorrow night and watch it. I'll be honest though, man. Once I stopped doing that show, that was my only really late night. I'm like in bed by that time. Like the 10 p.m. start time for me was difficult because now, like 10 p.m., I'm like in my jammies. I'm laying in bed. I'm on my phone in the chat and I'm passing out. Is lower than the recommended bit rate. Oh, it's something, YouTube's having trouble with my bit rate. I'm gonna wrap it up though pretty soon. It's 12:30 and I've been here too long. Yes, Karen, commercials out, mailbag out. Those callers who are stale, gone. Wow. Well, good on you, Patricia, if you got Mark to reformat the show because it needed it. It needed a revamp. It did. Mark Sargent and Putin need beards. I'm not even sure if Mark can grow a beard. That is to the real Patricia. Why do you think that's not the real Patricia? Because she changed her icon? Well, I mean, that's the same. I didn't give any new Patricia account a wrench. It's the same. I don't think Mark can grow a beard. Soon it's going to be Karen and Paige. Yes, I do. I listen. I've already went and checked it out the next day a couple times because I pass out. I've already, Tuesday, you have no idea. Once I stopped doing that show, it was very quickly. That Tuesday night slipped right back in, right in line with all the rest of my nights where I'm like in bed early and I'm up early. Like today, I wake up before the sun comes up. I was up at like 5:30 today. I just woke up. And I have an alarm set to wake me up earlier because now my children are back in public school. I've let them both go back to public school. And it kills me because I got to get up early and make sure they get their butts up and get on the bus. But yeah, I'm like up at 5:30 without even trying. That's when I got up today. I've already been up for, 7 hours now? That's how it is. Maybe they'll have me as a guest once in a while. I don't know. I tried powered oxygen, good stuff. The supplement product I tried that had the powered oxygen was incredible. It was like a mild psychedelic trip. Shaving your beard is the first step to becoming a tranny. What if you can't grow one? Ben. Hilarious. Alright, you guys, listen. Flatoberfest, September 27th through the 29th, Friday and Saturday. Biggest Flat Earth party of the year. Been the biggest Flat Earth event since 2020. I've consistently had, let's see, the very first one in 2019 had 200 people, and it's always gone up from there. 300, 350, 400, there's like 450 in Vegas. I don't know if there'll be that many people there this year. I really don't think so, but it will still be awesome. And actually, 2022 was a smaller event. There was less people at that one, and it was one of the more fun events, I have to say. I think that the more intimate events are better. Having done the really big ones, it's like they're so big, it's like you really can't take the time to talk to anybody. There's no relaxing, there's no slowing down. But I feel like this one will be much better because we're in a more relaxed environment. It's outdoor, there's lots of room, and it's not going to be so crazy. So I really look forward to hanging out with a bunch of wonderful flat earthers all weekend long. September 27th through the 29th. 27 and 28 are the main days. Friday and Saturday are the main days. That's why I put here Friday and Saturday, okay? The 29th is like the last day, you know, because people will be camping Friday night and Saturday night. And it's going to be really cool. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do karaoke. We're going to be doing a lot of hands-on stuff. Ben's got a in-person alchemy demo that he's going to be doing. He's going to be processing live material from Karen Land, apparently. And it's going to be amazing. You're going to see how things work in real life, and also an expanded How the World Works exhibit with Cammie and Zach, okay? And they're going to have more stuff this year than they had before. They have magnets, crystals, Van de Graaff machines, all kinds of things that sort of exhibit the real physics of this realm and how they relate to how our level stationary geocentric realm operates. And so it's really going to be amazing, and I hope that you'll all come and check it out, and of course go by and see Cammie and Zach and all of their cool toys. We're also going to be having live music, One Big Love, Chief Crow, Wits It Gets It, Rick Hummer, David Beverly Sr. from Jesus Freak Computer Geek, Mario Garza, myself. Also, we'll be doing a presentation. We're going to have Flat Earth coins there, and I think they're going to bring some tinfoil hat stuff again like they had in Vegas. I've got other vendors and stuff there that I haven't put on here. I should probably add them. Watson Atkinson's going to be there, the tattoo guy. Yeah, there's going to be lots of interesting, very cool, dedicated flat earthers at the event. And it's going to be a great time to exchange ideas, conversate, learn, make new friends. It's really going to be, it'll be awesome. And it's the last one. I don't know that anybody's going to be doing one next year. Maybe somebody will, maybe somebody won't. I don't know. But it won't be me. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, James Ritchie, for the support, and for everybody else who gave me super chats. Jesse James. I can't remember who else, but thank you, and thanks for the calls, and thanks for pulling me out of my funk this morning. I'm sorry that I got on here and I got all bummed out. It's just really hard, you guys. It's really hard, and Karen needs a break. Karen needs a break. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be seeing you around. I'll be in and out doing stuff. Make sure you're still subscribed to my channel. I think YouTube's been unsubscribing people from my channel quite feverishly here lately. Or maybe people just don't like me anymore. Either way is fine. Yeah. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations. And I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flatoberfest and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com.